Hey, this is Dan Lefave, and I was just mind mapping my VIP weekend that I do for my high-end clients, and just to get some more ideas and to make sure that it flows. And I came up with this idea for this achievement bridge. And the reason why you're going to want to listen to this short video is because it's going to teach you how to remove the how when you go to achieve something. Because when you want to achieve something, you usually run into how am I going to do this? How is this possible? How am I going to get the money? How am I going to find the time? All these how questions come up. So anyway, let me just teach you what I came up with. So this is what I call achievement bridge. This is where you are, and this is where you want to go to. And this is, you could call this pleasure island. So this is sort of pain island, and this is pleasure island. This is where the problems exist, and this is where the pleasures exist. This is where there's confusion. This is where there's order. This is where there's frustration, and this is where there's appreciation. So this bridge, think about it this way. If you're building a bridge, usually you build it from one side to another. You don't build it from both sides. What I'm going to suggest is that we build it from both sides, because this is mental. You don't have to do this physically. But think about it for a second. If you could build a bridge that has acceptance and allowance in it so that you're not butting your head against things and wondering how you're going to get it done, you start asking who questions. So you accept and allow things, and you start asking who can help me, who can give me the resources, who can support me, who knows better than I do, who can I learn from, who can I mimic. Start asking who questions instead of how questions, and write them down. It makes sense to write them down. And then you can move from pain island to pleasure island much easier. The other thing I'm going to suggest is this. Go over to pleasure island and visualize yourself being there, and then look back at pain island and think and ask yourself, imagine if I was over here, what would that look like? How would that feel? And what would I be doing? How would I act? How would I behave? Who would I be hanging out with? All these kind of questions. Start asking yourself questions. So instead of just being over here on pain island and frustrated and angry and butting your head against the wall and wondering how you're going to do things, you can move over to pleasure island much easier by having acceptance and allowance and looking backwards and seeing yourself already in that position, imagining yourself there, and asking these questions. Who instead of how. Replace the who instead of how, and then you'll move from one island to another, and you'll have more appreciation. And when you're in a state of appreciation, guess what? You're attracting things to yourself because you're appreciating it. You're giving your mind food for the things you love. Anyway, hope this was useful. This is Dan Lefave. Hope you put this to good use, and you have a great day. Thanks.